In this tutorial, we're going to look at a few different ways we can do some fine-tuning on our videos, as well as ultimately how to save our project so that we can submit it to Schoology. So as far as some of the fine-tuning things that we're able to do in our videos, there's some things we can do to kind of enhance the color and the overall look of some of the clips. So I can come into one of the clips here, and this one's a little bit washed out, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the filters option. So down here where we have actions, speed, volume, the very last one is filters, and you can add a filter. So right now there's no filters applied, but I can come in here and select a filter. So it's like, for instance, say this blockbuster, and that will kind of enrich the colors of this particular clip. We'll do the same thing with this next one here. So the student's walking clip, I'll go ahead and select it, and I will also apply the blockbuster filter to that. And you actually have a slider here to choose how much you're applying that particular filter, so we can kind of slide it back and forth to kind of decide exactly how much we want to adjust the color utilizing that filter. So I can go back to the first one and adjust it a little bit down as well. Okay, and so now we have applied that filter to each of these to kind of enhance their color. You may find with certain things that are washed out or dark or too bright, you can go ahead and find something that will help either brighten or darken the individual thing. Also, sometimes you want to do things for an effect. So maybe we want something to look like a silent film or a vintage era film, or we want sepia or black and white. We can find some of those different options in here in order to kind of tweak the color schemes of the videos we make. Another thing that we can do to kind of adjust things is, rather than having our music cut off immediately at the end of our project, we can have it kind of fade away so that it just doesn't have an abrupt end when we get to the end of it. So I'm going to go ahead and select our overall music there that ends at the end there, and I will go to the volume option. So we'll go down to volume, and then at the end of the volume there's an option that says fade. So when I select fade, I'll get this little triangle here, and as I pull that triangle back, it's kind of faint, but there's a little bit of a line coming right through here. I'll pull it back further and see if it can be seen. It actually shows a slope going downward. And that downward slope is where we're able to actually see the music kind of fall off and fade away. So we can adjust that so that the music doesn't end abruptly, but instead kind of fades out as we go through here. All right, the final thing we're going to do is we're going to add some ending credits to our movie. So in iMovie for iPad, in order to add credits at the end, we have to have a clip to add it to. So we don't have an extra clip that we want to add things to. So we're actually going to go to, on the media button here, we're going to go up here to backgrounds. And backgrounds give us several different options of things that we can apply as a background. I'm going to go ahead and just choose the simple black background, but you could potentially choose any of these in which to put your credits on. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the black background. I'm going to choose the plus, and that's going to give me a black slide that I can select and I can add titles to. So I can come down here to titles, and I can begin adding titles. So for something like end credits, it's probably easiest to use the standard option. And we can go ahead and where it says title text here, any of those things, we can select, choose edit, and adjust the text. So I might put in director, and then the name of the director. And it may be useful to have like a spacer of some kind, so I might put it like a hyphen. And then I'll edit the middle one, and I might put in that this is the lead, and then the name of the lead actor or actors. And then down here on the last one, I'll edit, and maybe I need to give credit for the music, to whom that was from, so I'll put music, and we'll put in the name of whom the music is by. So this way the students can put in the various different things that they have for credits. You can also move the credits around, so you can move them to different positions. So if I need to move it on the screen, I can move it around to where I want it. And if I needed to, I could actually select the clip, go to Action, duplicate it, and put in more credits for the next person. So if there were additional people that I wanted to add credits for, I could put another slide of credits on there. I can also adjust the length of time that the credits display on the screen, so I can change that up if I wish. So I can then put in all of my end credits for my film. And so then at the end of my movie, the music will kind of fade away as we're showing the credits, and that will be the end of the film. Okay? So that is our iMovie project. So the last thing I want to look at is how to save it so that we can then submit it to Schoology. So once you have finished everything on your project, you can go back and hit Done. And it will have your movie here. We can come in here and change the name of the movie. I'm going to call it Movie Scavenger Hunt. Okay. Now, if I needed to go back in, I could always go back to the Edit button again and continue to go back in and change things on it. If I wanted to kind of just give it a look, I could hit the play button here and play it either here or down here. This would play full screen, so I can go ahead and play it back if I kind of want to just look at the film. I can delete my project if I think I need to free up space on my iPad or things. I can delete projects that are old projects. So when I go back to the overall projects area, I'll see all of the different projects, so I can go into any of them, and if I needed to delete them, I could delete them. And then finally there is a share button. So I can go ahead and click on the share button. And underneath this share button, one of the options is to save the video. So I can choose Save Video, and it will begin exporting the movie. So it's going to take a few minutes, and depending upon the length of the movie, it will take more or less time. But once it finishes exporting the movie, in your camera roll, you will have your finished video file that can then be submitted in Schoology as your project for this particular activity. You can do exactly the one I did here with the nature scavenger hunt, or you can create your own scavenger hunt to use with your students. The final and optional tutorial here is going to be one on how to use green screen with iMovie. So if you want to kind of get an idea how to use green screen in your iMovie projects, you can go ahead and check out that final optional tutorial.